What A'ja Wilson just did was unprecedented. I mean, on so many levels. She's arguably, allegedly, the reason Caitlin Clark was assaulted the entire 2024 basketball season in the W. I mean, what A'ja Wilson just did is really like, there's no coming back from this. A'ja Wilson's whole positive vibes routine just took a MIV hit, and fans are starting to see the cracks. For months, she played it cool, acting unbothered, while her fans were dragging Caitlin Clark through the mud over this Nike signature shoe drama. But now the truth is out, and it's hilarious. During A'ja's shoe launch, she revealed that she's been sitting on her own shoe deal with Nike for 2 years. That's right, 2 whole years, while everyone was losing their minds, claiming Caitlin was getting special treatment, screaming that the shoe brand was disrespecting A'ja, the league MVP. And what did Wilson do? She said nothing. She sat back, smiled for the cameras, and let her fans wage war on Caitlin. Wilson was oddly silent but complicit. All right, why was she complicit? Because, well, she knew she was getting a signature shoe for 2 years. And she let Caitlin Clark take all that hate. Now, let's rewind for a second. Remember when social media was in flames over Caitlin Clark's signature shoe deal? How dare Caitlin get a shoe before A'ja? They screamed. And through it all, A'ja was right there letting it play out like she wasn't in the loop. She even fed into the narrative, dropping subtle comments about respect and deserving more on Twitter, giving her fans exactly what they needed to keep up the attacks. And so for Nike to put her in the position where she then has to go on social media and kind of cool her fans and like urge them to be patient and almost like defend Nike. It's such a disappointment, but it's not a surprise because Nike has done it before. But here's the reality. A'ja she knew the whole time that her signature shoe was locked in being designed, polished, and prepped for release. She knew she was getting her flowers, her bag, her moment, and she still let the world believe Nike had overlooked her for Caitlin. That's not being unbothered, that's calculated. Do you have any ideas what you would want your future sneaker to look like? I think the biggest thing for me is just, I would love a low top shoe. I play in a low top shoe, so that's something that I would love to have carry over and something that looks good. That's so key to me. Like, let's call it what it is. A'ja let Caitlin Clark become the scapegoat so she could soak up the sympathy. She let Clark, a rookie at that time, take hit after hit online, all while she watched. And for a few more retweets for her fan base to scream louder, because let's be honest, Wilson's fans have been on a mission to drag Caitlin from the second she stepped into the WNBA. And this shoe controversy, that was their golden ticket. A'ja Wilson, she's some WNBA player who knows she's one of the all-time greatest players ever. Why? But now the truth is out, and suddenly all those passionate A'ja defenders have gone quiet. Funny how that works. It turns out the disrespect wasn't coming from Nike, it was coming from A'ja. And the people who let this lie spiral out of control. Caitlin Clark was just minding her business, trying to elevate the game, while A'ja was playing victim with the narrative. Oh, but here's the real question. If you knew, you already had your flowers. The shoe deal, the brand backing, the legacy cemented. Why? Sit back and let your own fans wage war on a rookie? Why let them act like you were some overlooked underdog when behind the scenes you were already sitting on a shoe? All it would have taken was a quick tweet, a casual, "Don't worry, my shoe's coming," and all that noise would have stopped. But she didn't. She let it build. She let Caitlin Clark's name get dragged through the mud like she was some sneaker-stealing villain. And now, suddenly, the truth's out, and all those same people who were foaming at the mouth, screaming about unfair treatment, are backtracking like they didn't spend months launching attacks. And these WNBA fans that did not want to see Caitlin Clark come in and do what she did, which was dominate the league, led the league in assists as a rookie. After the season, I think I counted, she broke something in the neighborhood of 63 records last year, either rookie records or just flat records by anybody, not even a rookie. And all these fans have been mad. And all the while, A'ja Wilson sat back and was just plenty happy to play the victim. She could have come out and made some kind of a statement that would have called off the dogs. Nah, she didn't do it. But let's be real. This is about more than shoes. This is about how Caitlin Clark has been treated since the second she stepped into the WNBA. It's like she walked into a room and Sty had a target on her back. She wasn't celebrated, she was resented. Why? Because she brought millions of new fans, because she made people who never cared about the league suddenly pay attention, because Nike saw her talent and the numbers and said, yeah, this is the future. Caitlin didn't take anyone's spot. She didn't cheat the system. She earned that shoe deal the same way she earned her place in the WNBA by being better than everyone else. How could they give Caitlin a shoe before they give Asia one? Oh, how could they do this? How could they treat Asia like this? Two-time MVP at the time this, before she even won the damn third one. They is wrong for doing this. You want to know? And while she was getting shoved on the court, fouled like it was WWE, and slandered online, Asia Wilson had the power to calm it all down, but she didn't. She stayed silent. And that silence, it said everything. It said, I see what's happening, and I'm fine with it, because if the roles were reversed, if Caitlin Clark's fans were attacking Asia Wilson, you'd be hearing about it on every sports network. Think pieces, social media outrage, and ESPN hot takes will be trending on Twitter. You know the drill. But when it's Caitlin's silence, and it's not just Wilson, look at Nike, they rolled out a campaign celebrating their female athletes during the Super Bowl, a huge win. But the day after, when they released another commercial, somehow Caitlin Clark, the face of women's basketball, the player responsible for the WNBA's record viewership, was in it. You want to know what I'm selling? I'm selling greatness. Asia Wilson, free-time MVP. We got Jordan Charles. We got Juju Watkins. We got Shaqie Richardson. We got Arena Zeleny champion. Hustling is not easy, but I love it. Sabrina, I know you want to see. Thinking about it, you're thinking about it. They're going to go fast, kind of like shock. I accept. See, where's the card? Come on. Oh, wait, but what's in that box? These don't come out till March. They may or may not be shirts, but if I tell you I'm going to have to kill you, oh, you want one of these? Nike.com, who wants a t-shirt? They threw in a last-minute voiceover like we wouldn't notice, but we did. We saw it. That wasn't a site that was intentional. That was Nike saying, yeah, we like the money she brings in, but we don't want her in the photo. My favorite thing of all. So let's take a listen to this. Let's take a listen to this. Nike actually put this one out after the fact. You want to know what I'm selling? Rookie of the year, Caitlin Clark. I know you want a TOK. Nike.com. They re-recorded it like, that's not even, I mean, that's like, listen to it. How does this happen? How does the player who's literally transformed the WNBA, the most popular female athlete in all of America, the one whose games are drawing NBA level numbers, gets sidelined? Simple, because the league, the veterans, the old guard, they don't want her. They'll take the profits she brings, but they won't embrace her. Instead of celebrating Caitlin Clark, they tolerate her. They use her success but won't protect her when she's being attacked. They treat her like an outsider, as if she hasn't earned every bit of success. Not looking good for Nike yet again, dog. I don't even know how many videos I'm going to make today about Nike, but it looked like Nike is definitely the star of the day. All started with the Super Bowl commercial, them snubbing Caitlin, them putting Caitlin in, them fixing the commercial, them dropping Asia's shoe. Now, come to find out, Asia Wilson has single-handedly killed the WNBA media credibility forever. Yes. Oh, my goodness. These women was lying. Oh, God almighty. They made such a big deal over Caitlin Clark getting a shoe deal over Asia Wilson's. Silence is just part of the problem. She didn't need to tweet anything nasty. She didn't need to say Caitlin's name. All she had to do was sit back, let her fans do the dirty work, and enjoy the show. And it worked until the truth came out during her shoe release. But here's the thing, Caitlin's still here. She's still breaking records, still selling out arenas, still dominating the headlines. The WNBA can try to push her aside all they want, but the fans know, the sponsors know, and deep down, even the haters know Caitlin Clark is the future. But the real damage isn't to Caitlin. She's built for this. It's the league that's suffering. You can't treat your biggest star like a problem and expect to grow every shove, every snub, every fake controversy. They all make the WNBA look small, insecure, and prepared for what Caitlin Clark is bringing. The sales don't lie, the crowds don't lie, the viewership don't lie. Caitlin Clark is the biggest thing to ever happen to the WNBA, and the way she's being treated is a disgrace. The Cheryl Swoops made news. Now, she made news last week when she sat up there and was applauding Indiana FIFA players, but then forgot to mention Caitlin Clark. She jumped all in my ass because I sat up there and said, hey, how are you going to ignore Caitlin Clark? You know what she brings to the table. How are you just going to ignore her? That's not an accident. Cheryl. So yeah, Asia got her shoe, good for her. But the way this all played out, the months of fake outrage, the attacks on Caitlin, the lies, it exposed something ugly. It showed us that for all the talk about growing the game, some of these so-called leaders would rather protect their egos than embrace the future. Caitlin Clark is that future. Whether they like it or not, she's not going anywhere. And as for Asia Wilson, congrats on the shoes, but next time maybe use your voice for more than just sneaker launches. Backlash on this was quite significant. Everybody was calling out, why are you not marketing your most marketable player? And I cannot disagree because Nike, why your stock is going down? Do you realize that Caitlin Clark's jersey sold out right after she was drafted with an increase in over 1,000% reported for the Indiana Fever? Asia Wilson is out here celebrating her signature shoe deal, flexing that new A1 sneaker like it's the WNBA trophy. And you know what? She should be proud. A signature shoe is a massive achievement for any athlete, especially in women's basketball. But while Asia's out here doing photo ops and soaking up the praise, she might not realize she's also accidentally exposed the double standard that's been hanging over the league like a dark cloud ever since Caitlin Clark arrived. The press tour has officially took off running. We got Asia Wilson talking about, oh, I've been waiting 2 years for this, 2 years for this, 2 years for this, 2025, 2022. 3 CCs announced in 2024, delayed not deny in 2024, backlash all 2024. I've been waiting 2 years for this. And then we got Cheryl Swoops dead. Is Swoops there? Cheryl Swoops couldn't help but embarrass herself because, let's be honest, imagine if Caitlin Clark had been the one to get her signature sneaker first picture. This Clark signs a massive deal. Nike unveils the Caitlin one, and you already know what would have happened. The internet would have exploded. The same people who are now showering Asia with love would have suddenly had a laundry list of complaints. She hasn't earned it. They'd say, what about the veterans? They'd cry. And you know who would have led the charge? Cheryl Swoops, because of course she would. And guess what? This is exactly how it played out months ago. I feel so lucky to be a part of the Nike basketball family for more than 30 years now. And I love to see how the brand continues to champion women's basketball and athletic play.